Tuning up, tuning down, tuning all around. I'm sure that's based off of a song. I just can't think of it. Like, it seems, I don't know. Anyway, crafting is going to introduce an entirely new way to invest in a given weapon. When hunting for your new favorites, it's not just about the looks, but about the feels. Weapon feature lead Chris Proctor is on deck to walk through some changes coming to weapons, perks, and archetypes in the Witch Queen. All right. So. All right, Proctor. From Pinnacle to Pursuit weapons. What are they now? They're ritual weapons. Okay, when Pinnacle weapons were introduced, like Mountaintop and Recluse and Loaded Question, and then the Scout Rifle, Oxygen SR3, I think it is. Those were all Pinnacles. Pretty good weapons. They were tuned and presented as being best-in-class weapons to act as rewards for players dedicated to a particular activity. They, like, Crucible had all the best ones, though. Like, even, like, they were the best weapons even for PvE, which is why we put ourselves through hell to get that stuff. Redrix, yup, Broadsword, crazy. Well, Claymore, Redrix Claymore is D1, right? The Broadsword is D2. You D1 players. Okay, so I'm laughing at Mountaintop. I still like to take Mountaintop into Crucible and like kill people with it because it's just funny. Because I know it chaps people's asses. And despite what people say, you've always had to aim with it. And the people who ran 30 resilience would get one shot, and those who ran high resilience would not. It was pretty funny. They excited and motivated players, but they were expensive to build for legendary weapons and had some undesirable side effects, such as PvP pinnacle weapons becoming mandatory in PvE, Recluse and Mountaintop, yes, true, or becoming incredibly unpleasant to play against, or so strong that no other weapons in the class could compete in PvP. Mountaintop and Not Forgotten. I'll say, though, like, dude, Recluse in PvP, it slayed. It was so good. It was. When we moved away from pinnacle weapons, we didn't go into much detail, so we'd like to take a moment to clarify the move. And also introduce the pursuit weapon for next season. I will say, though, like, I didn't start crutching on these weapons for PvP until they took away skill-based matchmaking. And then I had to just figure out a way to compete with players who are way better than I. And that's what's going to happen. Like, I know some of these PvP mains have, like, this code of conduct that they think everyone should abide by. And it's like, no, dude. Like, get off the loadout you use every day. Because your skill in forcing me to play against you, yeah, that means I'm going to break out everything I have. It's true. Get used to the cheese. And that's what happens when you get rid of skill-based matchmaking. So, when we moved away from pinnacle weapons, we didn't go into much detail, so we'd like to take a moment to clarify the move and also introduce the pursuit weapon for next season. The intent as of Season 12 is that a pursuit weapon should be a solid weapon, roughly 70% of a god roll in its archetype, with perk options that work well in PvP and PvE, and which can be reliably obtained without a huge grind. You know what's interesting is curated weapons are supposed to be the god roll too, but like when Shadowkeep dropped, we started getting away from that, and then Beyond Light came out, and like the curated rolls, it's like, what the hell are you people thinking? Like, these curated rolls are like, did you just like pull slips of paper out of the hat? Like, okay, pull out the barrel for this one. Like, the curated rolls on this year's guns are trash. Okay, anyway. Somebody does way too many drugs at Bungie. And they can be reliably obtained without a huge grind. Okay, these should act as good starter weapons for both PvP and PvE. See, that I don't like. I think they should just be decent weapons, period. While leaving space for weapons from pinnacle activities like trials, raids, and nightfalls to exceed this potential. We generally ship a similar weapon with higher potential in the same season. I mean, personally, the ritual weapons we've gotten, I actually like a lot of the world drops way better. Way better. There's quite a few guns. I think there's like 15 of them that are like free to play world drops that I have in my video. Some of those I use in endgame content and I use them for soloing stuff. Like, they're actually really good. I don't use any of the rituals. I really don't. I don't really care for them. Despacito is the best perk you use in PvP all day. Dude, use that mountaintop and, you know, enjoy the tea bags. The celebratory crouching. Salvager's salvo basically ignores this guy. Okay, I do use that once in a while. Salvo is really good. But we really wanted to put chain reaction on a special ammo weapon and don't currently see a reason to touch it. Chain reaction is going to be rare on special weapons though. Chain reaction is really cool. I do like it. Okay, here's a quick breakdown of how each pursuit weapon since Season 12 compares to the random rolled options currently in the game. Adored is a good sniper rifle. It is. It's basically Beloved 2.0, but better sniper rifles shipped alongside it or since. True. I use, like, for PvE, Adored, I mean, I don't know. There's other ones I use. Salvager's Salvo Breach Grenade Launcher is a great room-clearing weapon, but doesn't have the utility of blinding grenades or auto-letting holster. I don't typically go for those, so Salvo for me is actually really good. So other legendary grenade launchers such as Truth Teller or Ignition Code often take its place in the hardest content. I actually prefer weapons to be, you know, built for different activities. So like when I pick out a god roll for a weapon, I really think about the situation it's best for before I pick its perks and mags and barrels. I honestly don't really like grenade launchers that much. I loved Mountaintop because it was just point and shoot. It was like, I used to joke around it was the best sniper in the game. Because I'd ADS it, line up my shot, pop, and because of the micro missile, like, the thing way down there would be dead. It was better than most snipers. It was great. Null Composure is an excellent fusion rifle. It is an excellent fusion rifle. And even more so in the season after it shipped, because it got buffed, and brought back the Reservoir Burst perk that Plug 1 and Glacioclasm can also get. And Cartesian Coordinate has better options for DPS. I love Cartesian. I use it for ad clearing. I've been using that since before the buff. Like, I have one with high impact reserves and it's excellent. And I use Projection Fuse on most of them to get range. The Ascendancy Rocket Launcher brought back the Explosive Light perk, but Hothead can also get this, and it has other good perks. Hothead is actually really good. I took that out and had a lot of fun with it. Ascendancy, I tried Chain Reaction. It was trash. Like, you 100% want to use Explosive Light, but that's going to be harder to use now that they're taking orbs off of Masterworked weapons. And with that, let's look at the Reckless Endangerment Pursuit Shotgun. This weapon is coming in Season 16 and introduces the new Steady Hands perk for a massive handling boost after a kill plus snapshot. Interesting. There are several other shotguns in the release with more sought-after PvP and PvE perks. It is pretty. I do like it. Origin traits. We've been talking about the difficulty of making different weapons of the same type feel unique for years at this point, and in the Witch Queen we're doing something about it. Every weapon that's new or returning in the Witch Queen will have an origin trait determined by its source in a third trait column, including all new legendary weapons and all returning Trials, Iron Banner, and Nightfall weapons. Origin traits will only appear on new drops of a weapon, and they won't be retroactively added to old drops. I mean, that's fine. I'll just replace it if need be. These traits vary in effect, but the guideline is that they either have high uptime and medium power effects or low uptime and high power. There are 14 origin traits in total shipping in the Witch Queen and Season 16, and we expect to ship around 3 new ones each season after Season 16. For example, one for 17, one for the Raider Dungeon, one for the seasonal event until we have one for each event. When we refresh old weapons from a given source, for example, an existing raid or old pool of seasonal weapons, we may create a new origin trait at the same time. Here are some examples. Trials of Osiris. Alacrity. Gained increased reload, stability, aim assist, and range when you are the last living member of your fire team or running solo. I feel like that's a recycled perk with a new name. Gives you plus 20 reload, plus 20 stability, plus 10 aim assist, and plus 10 range? That's stupid. Holy crap, dude. Solo includes solo lost sectors and rumble, for example. Wow. Wow. Okay. I mean, that's kind of cool. Nightfall strikes, stunning recovery. Stunning a champion partially refills your magazine. I like that. Triggers health regeneration. I like that too. And improves recovery for a short duration. It grants 60 health instantly and plus 40 recup for 3 seconds. I feel like Bungie is going to kick our asses in the campaign if they're giving us these. I really do. There's a new free emblem. Okay, we'll go over that afterwards. Crucible, one quiet moment, grants increased reload speed when out of combat. It's kind of lame. Why would you want increased reload out of combat? Plus 40 reload stat when out of combat. Haven't dealt or received damage for 4 seconds. It's useless. Like, I have time to reload a weapon when no one's trying to kill me. Strikes, Vanguard's Vindication. Final blows with this weapon grant a small amount of health. Small equals 7 health. I mean, that's like Devour Lock. How much does Devour give you? I don't know. I don't use it. But like, dude, 7 health? If you're ad clearing, that's a lot of health. Anytime it makes sense, due to the source activity, a weapon will have multiple origin traits selectable. For example, Nightfall weapons can select between Nightfall and Vanguard traits. Trials of Osiris weapons can select between Trials and Crucible traits. The Pursuit weapon can select between the Gambit, Vanguard, and Crucible traits, since it can be acquired from any of these activities. One other case, see below, weapon foundries. We have Banshee guest starring in this TWAB. Guardian. There was something I wanted to tell you. What was it? Banshee scratches his forehead. Oh yeah. Guns. I was cleaning out that locker back there. Banshee motions to a dust cake storage container. Found a couple of things you might be interested in. The Exo reaches into a crate next to him and pulls out a glistening Fugue 55 sniper rifle. A stack of shiny new Suros weapons. I love Suros weapons. Manufactured for the Red War by the looks of them. He peers down the sights of the rifle. Been years since I held a new Suros. Good balance, solid craftsmanship. This is damn fine work. Banshee stares off wistfully, seeming to forget you're there. His eyes snap back to you. What was I gonna tell you? Ah, right. Guns. Banshee uncrates more weapons in mint condition. These were earmarked for Zavala, Drifter, and Shax. Maybe if you're lucky, they'll let you play with them. There's a lot more where that came from. Banshee gestures to a whole stack of crates swimming in a cloud of dust. Hand cannons, pulse rifles, Amalon, Hake, Weist. You're gonna have a ball. Oh my god, it's the Balagan. I love the Balagan. In Season 16, we're replacing the old world loophole with 12 new weapons in style of Destiny 2 Year 1 Foundry weapons sets. 3 weapons each from the Suros, Amalon, Hake, and Weist foundries, plus 1 foundry weapon each for Vanguard, Gambit, and Crucible. Pictured a handful of weapons you'll find in Legendary Engrams on February 22nd. Not all are pictured, mind you. This is, I have this. I think I have that. I think I have that. I have this. I have two versions of... Well, I deleted this version because I have the Black Armory version. Dude, it hits like a truck. It's so good. Okay, each weapon will come with a Foundry origin trait themed around that Foundry's personality. Suros energy. Reloading grants this weapon bonus handling and reduces incoming flinch for a short time. Plus 40 handling, 20% flinch resistance for 6 seconds after reloading. Hake breach armaments. This weapon deals increased damage against vehicles, turrets, barricades, and stasis crystals. That might be good for endgame content. Turrets include stasis turrets. We're going to need that, guys. They're using our abilities against us in the next campaign. It's going to be irritating. Plus 15% to vehicles, plus 30% to structures and turrets. That will be really useful for GMs. Amalon Fluid Dynamics. This weapon has increased reload speed and stability for the top half of the magazine. That's fascinating. Stability, max plus 20. Reload, max plus 30. Reduces as the magazine gets lower. And then Vice has the Vice Stinger. Chance on damage to partially refill this weapon's magazine. That's kind of cool. I actually have a Vice weapon right now I'm really enjoying. In addition to the Foundry origin trait, each Foundry weapon's perk pools lean into that Foundry's identity. Big damage for Hake, consistency for Suros, abilities tie-ins, and weird stuff for Amalon. Never stop firing for Vice. Never stop firing for Vice. Let's go. This is the upcoming Vanguard Shotgun, Crucible Hand Cannon, and Gambit Auto Rifle. Foundry weapons that drop from a source aside from the Whirlpool can switch between the Foundry trait and that source's trait. This doesn't imply that Foundry weapons will be common outside the Whirlpool. For example, a roll on the new Gambit Hake High Impact Auto Rifle Herod C might look like this. Corkscrew rifling and polygonal rifling, armor-piercing rounds and flare magwell, perpetual motion, focus fire, invader tracker, which is a Gambit origin trait, or the Hake breach armaments, which is the Hake origin trait, kill tracker, and then range masterwork. So we know you haven't brought back all your favorite Foundry weapon types, but don't worry, you can expect to see weapon foundries receive new additions each season for the year following the Witch Queen, with some fun surprises thrown in later in the year.
If you'd like to support this channel, liking and commenting on the videos tells YouTube to share these videos with others who may find them useful. If you'd like to provide monetary support to help keep this channel up and running, visit my locals and Subscribe Star communities.